What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Dom coming live at you on the True Players Podcast episode on a very special night. We're going to have a double header of episodes tonight, starting with this episode, and then at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to have my man Matthew from Jacobin Sports Show and Knicks Believe Pod to speak about the big New York Knicks trade. But first and foremost, let's get into the podcast right away because I don't want to spend too much time on this podcast. I really don't, because we're talking about two NFL teams in New York that both lost. I don't want to spend my time on that. Not too much time. But I got a lot to say, especially on the New York Jets side of the football, New York Jets side of the locker room. A lot of things to say about the coaching. It's frustrating to watch that game on Sunday, but I'm quite sure the Giants fans feel frustrated about the Thursday night game in which they lost by 5. They lost 20-15 to the Dallas Cowboys, which they had an opportunity to win the football game if Daniel Jones makes a better pass to Slayton. You know, they just had to make a better pass. They would have won that football game. But then again, the Giants, after the big win against the Browns, you think they came in with some momentum to have an opportunity to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not the same team as they were last season. They have some flaws. They have some holes in that lineup, and I feel that the Giants did have an opportunity to beat them on Thursday night. But they do miss Saquon Barkley. Let's get right to the chase. They miss Saquon Barkley. A different element to the football game, a stronger running game, probably would have helped them. But you got to say one thing, though. I'm gonna say one thing: the big playability of the big games I believe Neighbors is having. I said this last week. It could be already. It's already been 3 weeks, 4 weeks already, and we could be looking at the offensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year. And Malik Neighbors. 12 receptions, 115 yards to pace the Giants today. He did leave that game due to an injury, but I think he's fine. He should be back. He should be good for the next game against Seattle. But this is a game this was a winnable game for the Giants, and I felt that it was a big letdown. A big letdown, especially coming off beating the Browns. Especially that. You know what I'm saying? So where do we go from here for the Giants? They're gonna go to Seattle and play a very tough Seattle Seahawks team. Very tough Seattle Seahawks team. They lost to the Lions, and they're looking to get some revenge. They could have won that game against the Lions, but they didn't. And Geno Smith and DK Metcalf is really connecting. So it's going to be a tough game for the Giants. But, I expect them to have a very competitive game. Brian Daboll knows what he's doing. He knows how to get the team prepared, unlike his counterpart over there in Florham Park. But I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm not yet. But the key to the games to both teams, you got to score touchdowns. You can't sit there and kick field goals and think you're going to win a football game. You can't do that. You got to score touchdowns. And this is what great quarterbacks are measured by. Touchdowns. That's what they're measured by. So I don't know what's going on with Daniel Jones. He plays one game, and in the next game he just lays an egg. He just gets up and lays an egg. You can't do that. You got to create some consistency. If the team wants to go where they want to go, you got to create some consistency. Yeah, sorry guys, John. That's gonna be 8:00. 8:00. We're gonna talk about Knicks. 8:00. That's a whole nother episode. It's a doubleheader today. Doubleheader. We're gonna talk about football now, and then Knicks at 8:00. Stay tuned. We're gonna get there. All right. So basically, let's talk about the New York Jets and why I feel this Jet coach needs to be fired by the end of the season, no matter what they do. Someone is explained to me in that locker room how you have 10 days off. And you come to on the field on Sunday so goddamn flat. How does that happen? You had 10 days off. Is it too many days off, Robert Sala? You sit here and want to help your players, but you can't get them prepared. Guys on defense can't line up on side. They line it right off sides. Come on, what are we doing here with the New York Jets? And you know what? I'm not even going to blame Zerline for missing that field goal. I'm not blaming him for that. I can't blame him for that because the Jets should have never had been in the position to have to kick a field goal to win that football game against a rookie quarterback. Is the Bronco defense good? Yes, they're good. However, this still was a winnable game for the New York Jets. The Jets should, all intents and purposes, should be going into London with a 3-1 record. Now they go down 2-2, right? You're facing a very good Minnesota Viking team with your former draft pick leading the charge at quarterback. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Did weather play a part in this game? Yeah, it sure did. But you know what? Aaron Rodgers played in Green Bay for over 13 years, 14 years. He should be able to handle that wet weather. You got two running backs, Braylon Allen and Brees Hall, to run that football. And they couldn't score a touchdown from the 2-yard line or 1-yard line. They couldn't score a touchdown. What are we doing here? Brees Hall gets stuffed twice. I believe 3 times. I think, as I'm trying to remember. You never once thought to bring in the rookie who weighs 240 something pounds. I don't know if you guys saw on Monday the tirade that Damian Woody threw. The tirade, which I totally agree with him about the head coach. Definitely, Cuzzo. Definitely particular play calling, and I'm gonna get to that too because how I don't understand how offensive coordinators like Nate Hackett still has a fucking job. He looks for Aaron Rodgers to bail him out at all costs, and guess what? Aaron Rodgers, as great as he was, could not bail out Nathaniel Hackett on Sunday. Could not at all do that. Could not. That's a big bozo move. You got a 240-pound running back, a rookie running back. Just power it in, score a touchdown. Instead of up 3-0, you're up 7-0. And guess what? 4 points was the difference in the football game. 4 points. Because coach, want to ride his veteran running back, who, in all intents and purposes, guys, Jets fans, I don't know if you, I don't know, I don't know if you Jets fans could agree with me. Brees Hall, for the first 4 games, has not looked good running the football. And I'm at a point right now, if I was coaching the New York Jets, I'm pulling a bold move. I'm starting Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen needs to get the bulk of the carries. I don't know what's going on with Brees Hall. Someone need to talk to Brees Hall. As good as he was, his rookie season before he got injured, as good as he was yet last season, coming back from the injury, you think after a full year of playing football on the ACL, his second year back, he should be running through defenses, breaking 60-yard runs, 70-yard runs. This guy's getting stuffed behind the line more times this year than he has his first 3 seasons in the NFL. I totally agree with you, Cuzzo. Hackett is not calling the right plays. He really is not calling the right plays. I have to agree with you. Hackett sucks. And I don't understand why they just can't get it right with offensive coordinators. I don't know why. The best offensive coordinator they had was Chan Gailey? Over the past 10 years? The best offensive coordinator was Chan Gailey? And you know what it is. You know what it is too. I'm sick and tired of watching teams outcoaching the New York Jets. It's been a common theme with the Robert Saleh led New York Jets team. Sean Payton comes in there and outcoaches him. He talked some smack last year. Yeah, the Jets beat him last year, but Sean Payton got him back this year. And God forbid these teams have the same record going at the last week of the season. And who's going to get that playoff spot if they end up with the same record? Denver Broncos, like I said, got a great defense. But we're supposed to be the top. We're supposed to be a top 5 defense. Okay. Will McDonald's lined up offsides. I don't know where his head was at. Don't know where his head is at. Stay on sides. Stop being off sides. 12 penalties. At least 4 offside penalties. At least I think it was 3 or 4 offside penalties on Will McDonald alone. I get it. He got like 5.5. He got 5 sacks this season, or something like that this season already. That's great. I'm glad he's filling the holes for Hassan Reddick and Jermaine Johnson. I'm glad. But the penalties, the mental mistakes, we can't have that. And at times, this defense was still getting ran through by running backs. Combined 146 yards by the Denver Broncos. Mind you, Bo Nix had -7 yards at halftime. He finished off with 60 yards passing, and you lost the game. Well, the Jets got no interior defensive tackles that could stop the run. That's the problem. The man I was beating up last year, John Franklin Myers, the world champion of roughing the passer on third down. I sure wish we had him now on our side of the football. Even though he tends to rough the passer on third downs, but he hasn't done that this year. I wonder why. Maybe it's coaching. Maybe it's coaching. Sean Payton ain't gonna play that shit. That's right, Cuzzo. World champion of roughing the passer on third down. That's John Franklin Myers. Yeah, I said it. Oh man. Oh man. And then you watch a 40, 41, 42-year-old quarterback get hurt at the end of the game, hurting the same leg that he hurt last year, the Achilles. Thank God it wasn't an Achilles. It was just, I think it was something higher in his leg. Hopefully. Hopefully. You know what I'm saying? As you guys can see, I'm kind of distracted right now. Is Major League Baseball playoffs is going on right now. The Royals and the Orioles playing right now, top of the ninth. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of just, you know, yeah. I just have a problem when teams, NFL teams, come after a 10-day layoff and not come prepared to play. You should be rested and be ready to go at the hinge, ready to fire because you got more rest. You got extra days left rest. When teams come out like that flat, it's on coaching. It has nothing to do with the players. It has nothing to do with players. Any question, guys? I see a lot of people in the chat. Let me know what's up, guys. What you want to talk about before I get. This is just a prelude. This is episode 1. This is a prelude to the big talk at 8 p.m. New York Knicks action with Matthew with Jacobin Sports Show. A little bit of Mets. So I'm excited. The New York Mets, man. I'll tell you, man. I was getting ready to I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna start tearing up if they didn't make the playoffs this year. I was gonna start tearing up, guys. But let me stick to the NFL right now, and then we talk a little bit Mets right after. So now this is just the Jet scenario. They go to London next week, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're facing the Vikings, a very good Vikings team with Sam Darnold as starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Who'd have thunk it? Sam Darnold is facing the Jets with a 4-0 record. Looks like he has command of the Minnesota Viking offense. He has total command. Okay, this helps. It helps, sure helps when you have weapons like Justin Jefferson to throw the ball to. Something that Mr. Joe Douglas refused to give him. Refused to give him in New York. I've been on podcasts. I said you could have me on record. I've said it on many episodes that I felt Joe Douglas sabotaged Sam Darnold. I truly believe that. You know what? You know what it is, Cuzzo? Maybe Sam Darnold figured it out finally with proper coaching. Maybe that's it. We all knew the boy had talent. That's how he was drafted number 3. Mentally he's much more of a better player than the guy that replaced him. Milf Hunter. Think about it for a second. All these Zach Wilson fans. Your quarterback is the 3rd-string quarterback. Sam Darnold starting for the Minnesota Vikings at 4-0. Exactly. Couldn't get him right. But you know what? I'm speaking to my Cuzzo. He's in the comments right now. To think about it through, Cuzzo, Sam Darnold played better with Adam Gase than he did with any other coach. And Adam Gase is the worst coach ever. Think about that for a second. This Jets team, who should have been 3-1, are now facing a possible 2-3 record after next week. 2-3 record after next week. Because they were unprepared. The coaches did not prepare them properly. The coaches did not prepare this team properly. So all the coaches. They need to swing a trade. They need to get rid of Hassan Reddick. Maybe we need a big defensive tackle to plug up the holes, the running lanes for the running backs. Quinnen Williams can't be double or triple teamed enough. Hackett has never been the right offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. His daddy was better as an offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. And his daddy was super conservative. You know what I'm saying? They should never traded for Hassan. They should never traded for Hassan Reddick. There's no such thing as handshake deals, guys. No such thing as handshake deals. As far as I'm concerned, he should just move out of New Jersey right now. Don't even show up for the rest of the season. Hey, well, let's do something better. Let's trade it for a Devontae Adams. Put him in the trade for Devontae Adams. Guess what? You got Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Mike Williams. Mike Williams played well last week. He sure did. He's slowly getting his wheels back. So that could be the guy that gets that jump ball. And maybe we could push Lazard down to 3rd or 4th receiver, even though Lazard is playing a good start to the season. I think still feel he's a 3rd or 4th quarterback. And how about we get the rookie some players in there too? Get some rookies up in there. Where's Malachi Corley? You know what I'm saying? If I was offensive coordinator of the New York Jets, man, I would do some things with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen both on the field. Have Breece Hall in the slot. Have Breece Hall on the outside catching the football. Do some trickery with both of them in I feel you, Kaz, but we got the 40-year-old quarterback for one more year. You know what I'm saying? We still don't have a quarterback in the room to take his place yet. You know what I'm saying? Do something different with the offense. There's so many things you can do with the offense. You finally figured out how to use Conklin and throw the ball to the tight end. You finally know how to do that. But is that going to be enough to get that W in Minnesota? Definitely. Because I believe it. There's no motion exposed that defense at all. They don't have the offense is very bland. It's very bland. There's no shifts. There's like this so-called motion that they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? There's no there's no off tackles. There's no running up the gut. You know what I'm saying? You need some I formation, get some good running, get some good blocking in there. We're missing a few pieces. But you know what it is too? The one plus about this game is our offensive lineman. AVT survived the game against the Denver Broncos. He survived the game, okay, against the Denver Broncos. Every time the Jets play the Denver Broncos, AVT is out for the season with an injury during that game. And he survived it. I'm very proud of that. We are turning a corner about that. We are really turning a corner. So before I go, guys, what's your thoughts? Hit me up in the comments. I'm gonna start answering some comments on the comment section. Let me know what's up, guys. If you're on YouTube, definitely comment as well. If you're on Facebook, hit me up on comments before I end the podcast because I need to get my rest on my little rest on before my big episode at 8:00, 8 p.m. We're gonna talk about Knicks basketball. And you're gonna hear my thoughts. How do I feel about Malik? Offensive Rookie of the Year already. Just give it to him right now. Okay, definitely, cuz we're gonna be back in 20 minutes with the other episode. This is a doubleheader episode, guys. Two Players Podcast with a doubleheader episode, and guess what? We're gonna be having the second episode while the Mets are playing the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 2. Hopefully to close them out. Hopefully, but we'll see what happens. Let them play the game, and we'll talk after. I'm just hoping the Mets are in the divisional playoffs by the end of the week. I'm hoping for that. I really am. This Met team, out of all teams, deserve this, man. I like the grit of this team. As I mentioned on my IG Live, if you guys did catch me on IG, if you guys don't follow me on my True Players Podcast page on Instagram, you're missing a lot of shit, man. Because when you guys don't see me for a couple of weeks, that's where I am on the IG doing my lives. So you guys definitely follow me on IG. True Players Podcast. Search for me. I said it on my IG Live on the other day, which was I think it was Monday. I said it. Francisco Lindor has now surpassed Jose Reyes as the best quarterback in New York Mets history. Officially. The big hits in the season when he has a bad back. The big home runs. Won't let this team go down. Like I said, I'm on record. Francisco Lindor is the best quarterback in New York Met history. He has had his New York Met moment. And as we saw the final pitch, the Kansas City Royals just swept the Baltimore Orioles. They're going to the National League Divisional Series. On that note, guys, I'm gonna sign off on this podcast. I'm gonna get my little water, get prepared for the next podcast. Guys, don't go anywhere. Tune in. 8 p.m. We're gonna be back. All right? 8 p.m. New York Knicks basketball. I'll see y'all in about 18 minutes. Peace.